Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's video. We're going to have a look at the weather for next week's 10 days. In today's video, this is going to take us towards the end of June. Go to around the 29th of the month with this update. Now, we're having a proper heat wave at the moment. This heat is going to carry on, certainly in the south, for the next couple of days. But if you don't like the heat, if you're getting a bit fed up with it already, it will be on its way out as we get towards the end of the week. And actually, as we run up towards the end of June, we might turn things really very unsettled. That's certainly the signal from the models this morning. So I'll talk you through everything that's going on in a second. We'll start off with the latest on the heat wave, and then we'll have a look at the weather for next week's 10 days. Just to say that outside my front window, there's a big building development going on. A field is having 5 houses built on it, and there's lots of machinery moving around. Of course, it's hot, so windows are open. So you might hear background noise, sorry about that. And this could go on for quite a few months as well, actually. So hopefully not, but we'll endeavour to keep the sound, the noises in the background, to a minimum if we can. So just starting with the latest observations at the website xcweather.co.uk, and it's really hot out there at the moment. So widely we've got temperatures going towards 30 degrees. Church Lawford, for example, in the Midlands, at 28 degrees. Coventry Airport is at 29 degrees. Benson in Oxfordshire also at 28 degrees as well. Luton Airport at 27, and then we come further down towards London. So London Gatwick is at 28, and also London City Airport is at 28 degrees as well. Our hottest temperature so far is at London Heathrow at 30 degrees. There's several hours of warming still left to go, so I reckon we'll be approaching 30 degrees today. That's what the high resolution Arpège model is predicting. This is a high-res model from the French meteorological agency, Meteo France. And this is at website weatheroutlook.com. You can find a link to Weather Outlook on the links page. So these are the temperatures. They're a little bit hard to make out, but they're widely showing temperatures to be at around 28, 29, 30 degrees through the course of this afternoon. And then the maximum appears to be somewhere in the south at around 31 degrees. It's around 88 Fahrenheit. We might go a little bit higher than that. Things, of course, start to cool down overnight as it goes dark. But tomorrow looks like another really hot day down in the south. A little bit hotter than today in the far southwest. So we're going up to around 33 degrees if this is right. That's getting very close to the all-time June maximum temperature, which I think was set in 1947. We carry on running through into Wednesday, and again looks like another hot day across many parts of the country on Wednesday. The temperatures again, they're going up to around 32, 33. Actually there's a 34 showing up there close towards Bristol. 33, 34 degrees in the southwestern part of the Midlands. That I think would be an all-time June temperature record on Wednesday afternoon if it came off. Might be accompanied by thunderstorms as well. Then we go through into Thursday, and the heat is still just about clinging on in the southeast, but not quite as hot on Thursday. By the time we get through to Friday, the temperatures then are starting to look a lot more comfortable through into Thursday and to Friday as well. So it'll be a case of a second half of the week of things gradually cooling down, but certainly the next couple of days going to be staying very hot down in the south. The north and northeast will be a bit fresher tomorrow, and down the east coast a bit cooler there. But essentially staying hot in the south and southwest for the next couple of days, and then the temperatures gradually starting to slide as we move through into the latter stages of the week. And we might get a June maximum temperature record out of this heat wave as well. This is where the Central England temperature currently stands from Hadley, currently standing at 15.6 degrees, an anomaly of nearly 2 degrees above average. Once again, that's provisional up to yesterday, 18th of June. We've generally been running around a couple of degrees above average since February, actually. Somewhere between around 2 and 3 degrees most months have been above average. we're continuing that into June, and suffice to say, if this carries on into July and August, they will both be very hot months as well, possibly with central temperatures over 18 degrees if we was to keep this sort of anomaly being around 2 degrees above average. Doesn't necessarily guarantee that we will keep this sort of 2-degree temperature anomaly going into the next couple of months, but if we did, then we would be coming away with really quite a hot summer indeed. However, as I say, there are signs that weather is changing, certainly in the medium term. So we've got this heat going on up to around Thursday when it starts to cool down. And after that, the models are signaling a more unsettled period as we run up towards the end of the month. So these are the 500 millibar height anomaly flowcharts for the next week to 10 days. We've got the ECMWF here on the top. The GFS, which I'll look at in a moment, is on the bottom. 500 millibars, 80,000 feet, is an area in the atmosphere. High pressure, low pressure are being moved around by the jet stream running above. Blue is extrapolating to low pressure, and yellow, orange, bright colours extrapolates to high pressure. This takes us more or less to the end of June, and it is showing the ECMWF that we've got low pressure coming back. So we've got these blue colours running into the northern part of the country, and the jet stream indicated by the tight lines is coming through across the country as well. So that does look changeable, and it looks quite unsettled, possibly a little bit on the cool side as well, actually, because the air with that is coming from the northern part of the Atlantic Ocean. It's coming sort of from the south of Greenland. So that does look significantly cooler and unsettled as we're running up towards the latter stages of June. Having a look at the GFS, it's same idea, but trough is there out to the west of the country, to the northwest. The jet stream indicated by the black lines, they're coming through the country as well. So again, that's looking quite unsettled and cooler as well as we're running up towards the final phases of the month. So if you want something cooler and more unsettled, going to wait a few more days, and then it looks like we're going to bring in significantly cooler and more unsettled weather from off the Atlantic Ocean. GFS temperature and precipitation ensembles are showing this up quite well. So the red line here is a 30-year upper air temperature average. Really warm at the moment. Temperature's going to peak probably somewhere around Wednesday, getting very close actually for London to 20 Celsius at 850 HPA. That's really hot air by that point. But after that, you see the temperatures are cooling down. We're still going for slightly above average upper air temperatures at the end of the week and into the weekend, which is this phase just here. So yes, it is cooling down, but it's still staying quite warm. But beyond that, into the end of June and the start of July, you see the temperatures continue to decline. And actually, as we get through into the start of July, this period just here, we are going a little bit cooler than average with the upper air temperatures. That's a very long way off, I'm not sure about that. But if it did come off, it would be quite a cool start to July. Certainly. For precipitation, well, a lot of dry weather coming up for the rest of this week. There will be thunderstorms associated with this heat, but they do look fairly hit and miss in nature. But as we get through towards the weekend, and then particularly into the start of next week, it's turning more unsettled, which is telling us that not only will the temperatures be cooling off, also we'll be starting to bring in some rain from off the Atlantic as well. Temperature anomalies for the next week are staying significantly warmer than average. This takes us from Monday the 19th today through to Tuesday 27th of June, and it is warmer than average, not just for the UK but for most parts of Europe as well. I would expect these to start trending a bit cooler over the next few days. Precipitation anomalies look a little bit wetter than average to the north from the 19th to 27th of June. Still drier than average for the south. Expect those to start trending wetter over the next few days. So, just have a look at GFS then. This is how things are shaping up on Friday. We've got high pressure ridging from the Azores into the southern part of the country. Low pressure is up to the north of Scotland. And we're bringing these westerly winds in. And this is what's turning things cooler in the second half of the week. The air is coming in from off the Atlantic, albeit still fairly warm air, especially so for the south, but it's not sort of the continental type heat that we've got at the moment. So things will start to, day by day, gradually cool down into the second half of the week through to the weekend, and we keep high pressure close to the southern part of the country, so not too bad in the south, but always more unsettled in the north and west with showers or longer spells of rain up there. And then as we go into the start of next week, but it's turning more generally unsettled with this quite deep area of low pressure developing to the southwest of Ireland on Tuesday. And look what the GFS does with that by Wednesday, 28th of June. That is winding up into quite a major feature. Actually, that looks a little bit autumnal. So we go from the heat of high summer that we've got at the moment to perhaps something a little bit on the autumnal side for next week. That's a very unusually deep area of low pressure for the end of June at 980 millibars, and to suffice to say, it will be really quite wet and windy. By the time we finish up at day 10, Thursday 29th of June, that low pressure is slap bang over the top of the country at 980 millibars. Again, that's unusually deep area of low pressure for the time of year. There'll be showers along the spells of rain revolving around that area of low pressure, and obviously it would be a lot cooler compared to what we've got at the moment. ECNF is very similar, so that's got the ridge down to the south on Friday. Still warm, but not as hot as it has been, and mainly dry for the south, a little bit on the showery side up in the north. Into the weekend, and things are gradually turning more unsettled, possibly bringing showers further southeastwards across the country by Sunday. This is the Glastonbury weekend, of course. You may be impacted by some showers on Sunday. Sunday has always been the uncertain one in terms of the days for this Glastonbury festival. That's always been one that looked like it could provide something a little bit wetter on Sunday. By the way, the 7th Glastonbury update will be issued tonight. I said I'd do it on Tuesday. I'm going to do that tonight, and then the final Glastonbury update will be on Wednesday, because I assume after that's no point doing, because everybody will be at Glastonbury. So 7th Glastonbury update tonight, final Glastonbury update on Wednesday. Excuse me. We run through inside of next week, and it is looking cooler at that point, and generally a bit of a trough over the country, so likely to be showers. And then in the middle and last stages of next week, again, the ECM is agreeing with the GFS in that we're bringing this area of low pressure in off the Atlantic. It isn't quite as deep, but it's still 990 millibars, which is a deep area of low pressure for the end of June. And again, that's looking a lot cooler, a lot more unsettled. Showers or longer spells of rain coming in with that area of low pressure. So it looks like we're in for quite an interesting period of weather, because we're starting off with high pressure and proper high summer heat wave type weather, and we might finish up in around 10 days time with something a little bit on the autumnal side. In between, we're going to gradually see the temperatures sliding away in the second half of this week. A couple more days of really hot weather to come, and we might break the all-time June temperature record with this heat as well in the next couple of days. But Thursday, Friday, things gradually cool down. It begins to turn a little bit more unsettled over the weekend, and then we get into next week, and that does look like it's going to turn properly unsettled and a lot cooler as well. We'll keep you posted on all the developments, of course, at Heatwave over the next few days. And as I say, tonight we've got the 7th update for Glastonbury. So if you're interested in that, come back tonight. Right, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.